just got one on that bait. I've got a new bait. There's nothing really wrong with that bait, but you can see where it's munched on it, and it's all about scent with gummy fishing. So I could repin that bait and probably maybe get another fish on it, or maybe lose another fish from where it's bitten. So I don't chuck no bait back in the water till the end of the night, but I'll rebait that. So it's quite a big bit of squid. I could probably cut that in half, but I'm aiming to get a bigger fish. So when I'm pinning that, come a bit closer. I'm just going to pin it up through there and expose that hook. So it's a nice bait. It's going to munch on here, munch on here, munch on here, and it's going to get that hook. So yeah, that's how I bait squid, but that's virtually how I bait any chunk bait. So there you go, guys. So casting off the beach, I've probably got that line, I'd say maybe less than 30 centimetres from the top of the rod there, and I'm going to cast with a tight drag. So I'm going to pin that. So I've got it pinned, tight drag for casting, open that bail arm, and then I'm going to go down the beach. I'm a fair way up the beach because the tide's going to come right up, but hopefully we're going to be home before then. We'll have to keep track of the time because I don't know how long that 2 hours was tonight. But, I'm at the water's edge. I'm going to turn around here, but I'm going to come onto this side. So no, stay there, fella. But I've still got that finger pin right there, and conversely, that's the shoreline, that's the water. I'm just going to hold the base of this rod here, and I'm eventually going to flick it. I'm not going to try cast it. I'm going to let that sinker do the whole lot, but I'm just going to flick it. So one action, and that's it. It's quite shallow here where we're fishing, but yeah, I'll leave that bail arm open all the way back to where my rod holder is. So I've probably got about, let's say, 20 metres in between the shoreline and almost got a bite. So I was just showing you how to rebait, and we've just had a good whack on this rod. So we've just done a big chunk bait on this, so that first whack is pretty good.
Do you reckon he's still on it?
Yeah, he's still on the bait. If you want to check too, if they're still on the bait, you can always just give it a slight lift. It's not going to scare the fish, but I know, it's just released off the weed. And I know that fish is there now. See, that was my exercise. See how I ran from there to here?
Yeah.
With the exercise. I don't see why you can't play golf, but that was a good hit on this rod. So it's a pretty big chunk bait, but I am going to put this back because I've just left that other rod. But it's back. Right, I've just put this rod down and it's still going. So still playing with the bait, and I reckon it's nearly going to get it. Yep, and he's on. Yep, that's it. It's not a big fish by any means, but I can feel its head shake, and I think it's swimming in. So I'm just keeping a lot of pressure on this fish, just so that hook doesn't pull. Got a lot of shakes. And I think it's dropped it. Oh no, it's still here. Still here. This actually does feel like a little bit of fish, guys. Get on the water there. There we go. Swimming slightly to the left. There it is. I think it's a better fish, guys. Still swimming left. Still coming up. Yeah, it's a better fish, guys. This one's a good one. I'm just going to walk backwards. So I think it's slightly better fish. That's probably the biggest one we've got tonight. But yeah. I think that's number 4, but we've kept 2 for a feed. And we'll probably keep this one too. I think if we catch another one tall, we'll put it back.
Yeah.
So we just look at this hook up again, because this was a bigger bait. This was, I think this was a parrotfish. It was a chunk bait. Bit frosty again, this one. Bit more solid too than the first one. Come down and have a look at this hook up. So that's a gamma 8A circle, and that's pinned perfectly in its mouth. So if I did want to release this fish, you could release it unharmed. But they come out pretty easy when you want to get them out. So I normally just wedge my finger there. Just watching the other rod too. Sorry. And just flick it around. Right, yeah. So ready? 1, 2, 3, pull. And that's it. There's your hook out. Ready for another bait. But we've got dinner, Kai.
Yes.
Very nice. Fuck yeah! I showed you squid baits before. Now chunk baits. So chunk baits exactly the same. Nice piece. Not too big, not too small. Pin it right on the top there. On the top. And about 3. There we go. And now, nicely pinned. It's going to get the hook up, and that's what we caught that last gummy on. So, I think I showed you casting or half casting before, but in between fish. So we've been down here, I reckon, no longer than an hour tonight, and we've put 4 on the beach. We've let 1 go, we've kept 3, and I think if we do get that bigger one tonight, that might get to swim away. So yeah, we'll do this quickly. It's been a pretty good bite down here tonight. Some rods in the water. There's only 2 of us fishing here tonight, and we've got 2 rods, so you could fish with more rods, but I find it easier. With 1 bait's soon enough for the fish to find. Thumbs down, pin that finger, tight drag, and I'm going to go over this way, still pinning that finger. That's the beach, that's the water. I'm going to hold the base of the rod and eventually just going to flip it. So, flip it here, and bang. And actually flip the bottom. So, I reckon that's probably maybe 30 to 40 metres out there. And, yeah, walking back up to the rods, and I've just got that loose. As I get to here, close the bail arm over, like that. And I'm going to give this a couple of winds. So that's tight now, there. No, tight there. I'm just going to lift it until it releases, and it's just released off the weed. So that's it. In the rod holder, like that, release your drag, and then set your drag. So, want it tight but not too tight, enough to hook the fish. That's it there. That's it. I do use bells down the beach as much as I do hate them, but with these bells I just clip it onto that bottom one. And the reason I clip it onto that bottom one, because there's no way I'm going to reach that when I get a fish on, and it's going to be a pain in the ass. So that's not going to touch the line, and it's going to take a big bite or a decent whack to actually for them bells to go off, and that's what I'm interested in anyway. I'm not interested in watching this, I'm interested in a good whack. So yeah, that's your rebaiting. Guys, I showed you how to bleed them before, but I didn't let them bleed for that long, so I'm going to bleed this one now. It's still kicking, so I'll bleed it and I'll leave it for what I'd say 20 minutes or so before I pull the guts out, and and then I'll show you the liver to show you the difference between cutting them and then gutting them straight away, opposed to bleeding them and then gutting them. So it's just in that soft spot again. And he's going to bleed good. Just hanging for a sec, and it's just gushing out. So I'm just going to let him bleed, I'd say 20 minutes or so, and then I'll show you the liver and the difference between the liver colour. So just so you can see that it's actually bleeding out. So I'll come back in about 20 minutes and I'll gut it, but I'll show you the liver colour. So, thanks guys. We just got that eagle eye up, and yeah, obviously just up to the sand there, and I've cut the hook off because I don't want the barbing me, but I've cut it as close as I could. So yeah, now we're just going to re-rig. Yeah, all I'm using, obviously, gamma, rado circles, a couple of glow beads. So I normally use 2 glow beads. Straight on. I've just got an 80-pound leader here. You can use a bit lighter if you want, but I do like the 80-pound. 2 glow beads, your hook. Straight in, and I'm just doing the uni knot. So yeah, I don't know if you can see that, but I'm just making a loop, and then I'm going to come through that loop 4 times. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Pull it tight, slide it down. As it gets to there, just hold that loose end and pull it tight. And that's how you want it. You want that loose end to be pointing up with the actual main line. So just got some cutters, cut that off. Sometimes I burn it. I don't think it makes too much difference, but these glow beads, I do use these glow beads to protect my knot. So I just get that loose end and poke it through the hole with the main line, and then I'll just pour it over, and that's right over my knot now, protecting my knot. And yeah, but, probably about a metre. I don't measure, but it looks okay to me. And that's it. I've still got a swivel on my line, so I'll just cut the end of the line off what's up there, and just tie that straight on and bait up, and away I go. That's the one we bled earlier. So I'm just going to show you the liver. Hopefully it's pale and it's bled properly, but it should be. But yeah, it's nice and limp. And it's dead. So same again, that incision at the bum, just the tip of the knife. I'm only really using probably that much of the knife, and just running it up. And there are eggs in there, but see how pale the liver is from bleeding it properly. I don't know where I put the other one, but the others were a lot darker in colour. So that's an indication that the fish has been bled properly, and you can see the fillets in there, nice coloured fillets. Same again, that cut there, and there's your heart. So that's why we cut it there, right next to its heart, and that's why it's bled properly. Just either side. Nice and clean, nice clean fillets. We'll give that a wash, and we'll head and tow it. Same again, I'll check the guts. This one's got quite a bit in it too. Maybe this might be our baits we had earlier, but we'll just have a look. Bit of a cut. And this has got some nice crabs in there too. Nice little spider crabs, they are. That's a massive crab. That's a nice big crab, that one. But yeah, tail of a fish. There's some more crabs. That's about it. But yeah, that's why you cut them and bleed them, and then later on, obviously, yeah, when you gut them, then all the blood comes out.